Hey, this is Jennifer from SingtoKids, and I wanted to share with you one of my resources that I have in my TPT store, which is a series of activities for Google Classroom. So any of you who are engaged in remote learning right now and you use Google Classroom with your students, this is a great thing to send out to them because it gives them opportunities to play with rhythm and to create rhythm patterns. And especially if you're having to do assessments, you can go ahead and assign it to every single student in a class and get feedback from them. So this particular resource is called Rhythm Rabbits. When you play it, it is in Google Slides, but you don't put it in present mode because you want the kids to be able to go through and manipulate the different rhythms onto the carrots. So the directions say practice creating rhythm patterns using the meter signature on the page. Click and drag a note onto one of the four carrots. Once you've created your rhythm patterns, practice reading it using rhythm syllables. And again, the lovely thing about this is whether you use a beat function syllable like do and do day, or you use ta and tt, a kodai or orf person, it's nondescript, so your kids can practice reading rhythms however they do in your classroom. And so they click on the first one and they see a meter signature of 4, and then they see 4 carrots. And the notation is below. This is not an infinite cloned notation. There are just 4 notes that are layered on top of each other. So they click and they're going to drag it up onto the carrot, and they can place it wherever. It's not an exact science. And then once they've done that, they can practice reading their rhythm. And the rhythm I have here is do, do, day, do, do. And so they can go through. There are 14 slides total, or 12 slides total, that they can practice writing rhythm patterns, and hopefully they'll write different ones for you and practice creating and reading patterns. And one of my goals during this time, uh, as a parent as well as a teacher who's adapting to all of this newness, doing things from home, my goal is just to make music joyous in the home. And so my hope is that if my students are doing this activity from home, then perhaps the parent is listening in or monitoring and might begin to ask questions like, oh, I never learned to read music that way. Can you show me? Can you show me how you created? So my whole hope and goal for any child who is using my materials at home is that it just begins to create dialogue with parents about how they learn music and spark a little joy and relaxation if they're singing songs together or creating rhythm patterns like this. Sorry, I have a very precocious little pug in the background who thinks I should play with her right this minute. So I wanted to show you, there are 2 versions of this game. And the first version just uses a meter signature of 4. The second version has a different meter signature. So again, they can see if they were creating patterns with 3 or creating patterns with 2 beats in them. And so this is just level 1, which has quarter note and eighth note combinations. There are additional levels in here. Level 2 uses quarter note, eighth note, and quarter rest combinations. I'm bringing that up for you right now. Level 3 adds in half notes, and level 4 adds in 16th notes. And again, there are 2 different files. One has just 4/4 patterns, and one has multiple time signatures or meter signatures for kids to create. So this, again, it's a wonderful little thing to send out to kids and let them refresh themselves in creating and reading rhythm patterns. If you need to do assignments, it's a great way to get feedback from kids because you can assign it in Google Classroom so that every child gets their own copy, and then you can go in and see once they turn it in how they did with this particular activity. And then I just wanted to share with you on TPT, if you go to my store, SingtoKids, you'll see down here in the custom categories that there's a whole section of Google Classroom for elementary music. And that when you scroll down, you'll see that there are all different kinds of games. And I've kind of created them seasonally as we do different things in my music room. I had a series of spring ones that I just published a week or 2 ago. There are some tonal pattern ones, but these again are more seasonal. I'm going to be creating some things that are more relevant to this time that we're in right now, but there are just tons and tons of these resources for you to use with your students. And the lovely thing again is that you can assign them in Google Classroom, and every student in your room can have a copy to play with at home. I hope this is helpful to you, and I'm glad to share ideas with you and collaborate with you and help you in any way I can as we navigate this new reality together. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.